go again. Hello again, PCQIs. So in this topic, I would like to discuss personnel flow. When I'm doing a deep dive audit, I observe how people go in and out on different zones. Obviously, when you are, if you are planning your flow process, keep in mind those dynamic when people are going through different zones, right? Do they need, certain foot gear, through your process coming from the street? What does that look like if they're trekking, if they're trekking, obviously dirt and soil in their foot gear? Do they have to change, or do they have to use a foot cover? Do you issue them boots? What does that look like on your floor, keeping it sanitized and not? So some of the things that I've seen and would love to share with you, some companies have inquired about, hey Arnell, we're gonna issue shoe covering. What does that look like? So the first thing I ask is, what is your process? Is it a wet process? Is it a dry process, right? So there are certain shoe covers that you might want to consider prior to making that implementation. And then once you have decided what that is, you need to define a zone where your team can go in and basically perform that. It's not as basic as they come in and they basically put a shoe cover and they're standing there bending over, lifting their foot up, right? So there's other issues there. They could fall and hurt themselves, and that's another issue. So you'd lose that person that day, and that person is hurt, and it's not good. Okay, so typically on best practices, there's a lot of them out there. Go to YouTube University, where people have to sit and they have two zones, right? We'll call them A and B, and basically the A zone, we'll call it the soiled area, where they lift their foot and crosses over to the B zone, or the clean area. And do that the same way on the right side. If it's a wet process, obviously there's a lot of wash that could be on the floor, sanitizers and things like that. So that's going to eliminate that you have to put a bench. So there's a lot of techniques. So consider those on that. And the other part of the flow is the dynamic of people changing from their PPE, how those flow with top to bottom gearing. Make sure your PPE are staged properly, because as human nature, we go in and if we see the lab coat first, or in this event the boot or the shoe cover, we're gonna go towards that. So it's also a placement of the PPEs. Typically what I'd like to see when I'm doing a deep dive audit is it starts from the head on down. So I've seen station where the hair nets, earplugs, safety glasses, beard covers, and some company still uses face masks. Obviously the face mask, so it goes all of the top one first. So all of that dandruff and hair, as you're moving, it falls into their personal clothing, and then you put the lab coat on. or the outer covering, and obviously, and then go through your hand washing process at that point. And if the boot is incorporated on that, obviously, then you need to do that dynamics of where your pupil crosses over, depending on what your process is. So yeah, just keep in mind, take a look at those. If you got to move things around, to provide that best practices, I highly super recommend it. Other than that's another one, and I'll just hit them on different topics on short videos. I know you guys are busy. I get asked a lot. Could you get your videos a little longer? But the thing is, we're all busy, right? I'm busy, you're busy, we're all busy. So I try to keep them short so you can kind of hit them up and things like that. And by the way, if you have any questions, you can email info@consultainc.com or services@interlinkiq.com, which is our software that we utilize for our services and tracking. Okay? So anyways, have a good day, PCQIs. Like I said, stay strong, stay positive. Till next time.